Welcome back. So over 3,000 bricks for a bridge were purchased by residents of Dudra in the Eastern Cape. Frustrated by the local municipality's delays, the residents took matters into their own hands and decided to build the bridge themselves. They claimed they previously supported and maintained their bridge without government assistance. Let's take a look.
Residents of Vono in Dudra, Eastern Cape, came out in large numbers to build their own bridge, which will improve access to the town and schools. The local youth initiated the project, requesting a contribution of 200 rand per household to purchase bricks and materials.
Lwadibana ngokuvana into kokubana imemba nganye mayikhuphe i210 athokwazi yakhuphe ngaphezulu kwenzeka for into kokubana le blorho ibe iyenzeka.
Eyona ndibalulekileyo ke lento asiyenzi ngenjongo yodiscredit umuntu uthile. Kodwa injongo yethu kukuba makube kulunga le blorho kukwazi ukuhanjwa apha. Silinde ke ngoku umasipala xa sisenza lento kuba sifuna umasipala afike siqhuba sisendleleni.
One of the young people who initiated the project says they decided to do it themselves.
Sakubona into kubala ngabo le blorho ibhizi ngolona hlobo kuwela ititshala ezititsha apha kwezi high school nabantu ababheke ekliniki bawela apha nabantu ababheke edolophini bawela apha.
The local municipality says they are not aware that residents are building a bridge.
South Africa, the so-called heartland of the revolution, the birthplace of legends. But what you're seeing right now isn't the legacy of struggle heroes, it's the stark, infuriating reality of a province abandoned, of people left to fend for themselves while the very government elected to serve them, well, they're too busy serving themselves. In the heart of the Transkei, a community just repaired the 85-year-old, storm-damaged bridge. An essential lifeline connecting over 10 villages to clinics, schools, and the nearest town. 85 years old. And when it finally gave way, did the government swoop in with resources, engineers, and a commitment to their citizens? No. They did what they do best, nothing. So, the people of Transkei, these incredible, resilient South Africans, they dug into their own pockets, they pooled their meager resources, they picked up shovels and bricks, and they built their own damn bridge. And you know what makes my blood boil? It's not just that they didn't build it, it's why they didn't. While the people of Transkei are building bridges with their bare hands, their sweat, and their last few rands, the Eastern Cape government is drowning in a cesspool of financial mismanagement and outright theft. Let's talk about the wastage. The sheer, unadulterated, criminal wastage of taxpayer money in this province. The Nelson Mandela Bay Metro, right here in the Eastern Cape, was slammed for spending only 41% of its regional bulk infrastructure grant for the 2023 to 2024 financial year. 41%. The rest returned to National Treasury. Money that could have fixed roads, secured water, uplifted communities, sent back. This isn't just incompetence, it's a betrayal of the working class, criminal negligence in a city facing chronic water insecurity and failing sanitation. The Auditor General's reports read like a horror story, year after year. Endemic financial mismanagement, a recurring nightmare despite the AG's efforts to help them improve. The Eastern Cape Department of Health, for example, had the highest unpaid medical claims in the country, at 36.75 billion. Billions. And in 2019/2020, they had the highest unauthorized expenditure of all provinces, at 1.59 billion. This wasn't for life-saving medication, it was often for filling vacant posts and other unbudgeted expenses. They overspend on salaries while hospitals crumble and people die from preventable diseases. This isn't just mismanagement, it's a direct attack on the lives of ordinary citizens. And where does all this money go, you ask? Oh, it's not just wasted, it's looted. The Eastern Cape government has become synonymous with corruption, a criminal enterprise masquerading as a political party, as some have dared to call the ANC in this province. Remember the R20 million tender fraud for temporary classrooms and furniture in Nelson Mandela Bay? Arrests were made, but for everyone caught, how many more walk free, their pockets stuffed with the dreams of the poor? Let's not forget the Amat Ola water scandal, a nightmare of governance failures, tender irregularities, and political interference that has led to chronic water shortages for our people. The minister herself, Pemi Majidina, implicated, yet she's investigating her own department. The stench of corruption in that entity alone involves allegations of tender rigging, mismanagement of a 5.2 billion budget, and the reinstatement of a CEO accused of corruption. Forensic reports implicated 17 persons of interest and 30 contractors in bid rigging and financial misconduct. This is not just a few bad apples, it's a systemic rot. And who can forget the COVID-19 related corruption? The leaked invoices from Otembo municipality showing millions for a door-to-door COVID-19 awareness campaign when people couldn't even leave their homes during level 5 lockdown. The alleged massive corruption surrounding PPE, putting frontline workers and their families at risk, leading to unnecessary infections and deaths that could have been prevented. This isn't just about money, it's about blood on their hands. There was even a health department superintendent general, Dr. Shiva Pillay, who tried to fight the rampant graft. He fired over 1,200 staff for corruption and non-performance, saving our 1.4 billion in duplicate and corrupt payments. What happened to him? He was edged out after a long-standing feud with the health mech. He even faced death threats. This is what happens when you try to clean up the cesspool, you become a target. So, with all this, with the blatant failures, the shocking wastage, the outright criminal corruption, why does the Eastern Cape, this province that suffers so much, remain so stubbornly, frustratingly loyal to the ANC? It's the heartland, isn't it? The birthplace of Mandela, Tembo, Biko, Sisulu. The legacy is powerful, the emotional connection deep. For generations, the ANC has been seen as the liberator, the party that brought freedom. And that historical weight, that emotional attachment, seems to outweigh the present-day reality for many. But that loyalty is being abused. It's being taken for granted. The ANC knows they have a stronghold here, and it seems to breed complacency, even arrogance. Why deliver services when you know you'll win anyway? Why be accountable when the voting patterns are so ingrained? The polls show the ANC still dominant in the Eastern Cape even if their support dips slightly in 2024. They still sweep by-elections with massive majorities. They still see the Eastern Cape as a key province, a vote-rich province where it remains the only political option. And that, my friends, is the tragedy. Because while they count their votes and pat themselves on the back, the people of Transkei are literally building the infrastructure that their government should have provided. They are a testament to resilience, yes, but also a damning indictment of a system that has failed them, time and time again. We cannot afford to romanticize a past that is being desecrated by a corrupt present. The Eastern Cape deserves better. South Africa deserves better. This isn't about party politics anymore, it's about basic human dignity, about the right to live in a functional society, about stopping the theft of our collective future. The people of Transkei have shown us what leadership truly looks like, not from the halls of power, but from the heart of a community. It's time we, the people, demand that same commitment, that same action, from those who claim to lead us. Because if they won't build, then we must expose, we must demand, and we must never, ever stop fighting for the South Africa we were promised.